This is a rocky life. And now, put your hands together for the host of A Rocky Life, Rock
Thank you all
Pit.
for your support. I really appreciate that. It really warms my heart. Welcome to A Rocky Life. I'm your host, Rock. Please remember to smash the subscribe button if you like the shows. Today's episode, we go deep. We look into my past, and I'm going to show you or talk to you about a few insights that I realized that are actually connected to my present, specifically around my parenting skills. So stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. As promised, today we're going to go deep. And we're going to talk a little bit about my past, and I'm going to connect or provide you with a revelation that I've come to realize. For those of you who don't know me, I was sexually abused by my father as a child. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole story right now because this is not the forum for that, but I'm going to create a separate series which is going to talk about my life. I had a blog once, I wrote down my whole life story, but I canceled that blog right around the same time I reconnected with my parents, and all that content is pretty much lost, and I thought it would be valuable to provide you guys with a bit of a backstory of who I am. You know, context is everything. If you don't know somebody and you see them act a certain way and you judge them, you really should think about context. So, like I said before, I was sexually abused by my father, and up until the last little while, I noticed a pattern that I was doing, specifically towards my daughter and my wife. I, for lack of better words, was acting a bit assholey way. I was being a bit of a turd, not being very nice. And I would think about at night, before going to bed, in like a deep, saddened state, I would think, why am I like this? Why do I keep pushing them away? Why do I keep pushing them away? Why am I doing that? What's my deal, man? What's my deal? And it was only up until about a week ago, after things started to shift for the better, I started gaining clarity into the situation, and I realized that my daughter is at the same age or at about the same age as I was when I started getting abused by my father. And subconsciously, I believed that I was pushing her away because I didn't want to hurt her. And I was talking to my wife about this, and my wife asked me, she said, well, do you have any urges or any desires to hurt her sexually in that way? And I was like, well, no, of course not. I mean, the cycle has been broken, thank God, with me. And I said, I don't think it has anything to do with me wanting to abuse her. I have no urges to do that, no desires to do that. And I think it's just a subconscious, like a defense mechanism that pushes her away in case I do hurt her. And what I realized was the fact that I was pushing her away, that was what was hurting her the most. And I've really been able to be fortunate enough to be aware, self-aware. And honestly, that's what's been saving me, is this self-awareness, is this being able to catch myself in my own patterns and saying to myself, whoa, back the truck up here a bit there. This is not you. This is just your subconscious acting out old programming. And day by day since then, I've been able to shift my thoughts around that. Funny enough, I actually shifted my thoughts around the same time I started making these videos. So thank you for that. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. You guys watching makes me want to continue. I've really, like I said before, shifted my inner patterns, and I'm continuously trying to grow into a better spot, or become in a better space for myself. And I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys put your excess baggage on your kids? Are you making your kids carry your past burdens? Think about it for a second. If you're 35 years old and your kid's 8 years old, for example, and you had some bad experiences when you were a kid before you had a child, ask yourself, am I putting that on my child? That's a good question for you to ask. I know it's a question I ask myself all the time. Am I putting this on my daughter? Why am I being hard on her? Where am I coming from? I just want you guys to think about that and maybe ask yourself that question. What kind of baggage are you putting on your kids? I'm going to leave it like that for now, and I'm going to come back with my final thoughts. Thank you. Welcome back to my final thoughts. You know, as I develop myself and pursue growth, I'm learning a lot of things. And one of the things that I'm really intrigued by is context. Context is like the backstory of somebody. So it's really easy to look at somebody that's acting in a certain way that may not be the way you would act and judge them. But the truth is that you do not know their backstory. You do not know why they're acting like that. You do not know what they've gone through, and if they've gone through hardship, and if they've gone through some pain, and have they dealt with all that. So I guess my point to all of that is really for you to focus on compassion when you see somebody acting a certain way that is not aligned with how you would act. Maybe you ask yourself the question, I wonder what that person has gone through to act that way. And to throw them some compassion and feel for them and say, geez, I really hope that they work it out. It must not be easy for them to act that way. Because I know when I act in an outburst, or when I'm having a bit of a temper tantrum, it's not fun for me. Even in that moment when I'm like becoming the Incredible Hulk, the observer part of me is looking inside and saying, oh, I hate this about me. Why am I like this? But I also throw myself some compassion. I understand there's context. There's a story behind it. Just like you have a story. Anyways, I'm going to leave it like that for now. I love you guys. Have yourselves a great day. Be kind to each other. And like, subscribe, share, comment. I would really appreciate that. Have a great day. Bye-bye.